Out. And good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Thursday business call. And we're really excited to have a featured speaker today, Judy Daniel, who's got a delightful presentation that she's going to give for us. And when she's done texting. Oh, and you're muted, Judy, so we can't hear you.
I was just texting to see if my other cohorts had joined. So that's what I was texting about. I was hanging on your every word.
Oh, good. Well, I think I've got my technical challenges. I had a little technical hiccup, which I cured the hiccups. So I think we're good and clean. So Judy, I'm ready to turn it over to you, and I can start the screen share whenever you would like me to.
All right, that sounds great. Thank you so much.
Great. Wait, before you start, are you on Facebook Live, honey?
No, I can't do Facebook Live today.
Okay.
Yeah, that was my technical hiccup. I can't do the screen share and Facebook Live.
Okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, good morning, everyone. Happy New Year. This is our first business chat of 2022. I have taken in very deeply what Robin and Gregory have been suggesting regarding closing one year, starting another year. And somewhere in that mix, I had the idea to create a vision board, a dream board. The last time I did one of these was, 17 years ago. Every single thing I put on that dream board, that vision board, came to pass. It all happened. It was incredible. And I just hadn't felt that inner urge to do one again until New Year's Eve. I invited two friends over, neither of them in network marketing, both in business, neither had done a vision board before. They came on sheer trust. And what a New Year's Eve it was. It was my excitement from that evening that had me suggest that we could talk about vision boards today. Now, right from the get-go, I'll let you know that I'm not going to be teaching how to do it. The whole idea here is to inspire you to perhaps go searching online about vision boards and dream boards, but I just want to somehow or rather convey my excitement and my friends' excitement about vision boards. So let's begin with the slideshow, Gregory, and thank you for doing that for us. Here we are. Isn't that the truth? The power of dreams, the power of visioning, the power of looking forward. I bought a book in December, which I read as a compilation of 3 lectures. I purchased it because of the title, Yes to Life in Spite of Everything. I mean, you really don't even need to read the book. The title alone, Yes to Life. So here I am saying yes to heading up a business chat. So Gregory, if we can move on to the next slide. I put this definition up. Some of you may not have heard about vision boards or dream boards. I know my 2 friends had not. So for those of you who have never considered one, don't know what I'm talking about, it's a collage of images, pictures, and words that represent the life you want to live or amplify. You're very happy with the life you have. You would just like to amplify it a little bit, just, move it out, dreaming big, living large. A vision board, a dream board, they're one and the same thing. So if we can have the next slide, please. So this was New Year's Eve before my friends arrived. I pulled out the table. It was about 8 feet long. I had magazines that people had given me over the years. I had scissors, I had glue. This is the old-fashioned way of creating a vision board. And it's very tactile. You're cutting, you're flipping through books. let me show you what it looked like halfway through. Next slide, please. So there we are. Halfway through, all that organization is gone. We are in the midst of what they call chaos. And out of chaos emerges order. And that's certainly what happened with our vision boards. One woman who came was kind of fun and grumpy and saying, I don't know about this. I mean, I may have to leave early. She got right into it. It was what she created for her vision board made me want to just dive right into it. That's the power of images, of going beyond the spoken word. I mean, words are powerful. You can use them on your vision board, but the whole idea is the images. So if we look at the next slide, Gregory, this is just to give you an idea of what they can look like if you've not done one. Now, when we begin with a vision, we're aiming towards success, whatever that definition is for each of us, that inner success that represents the outer success. We begin with a vision, we're heading for success, and some people go from vision to goals to action, success. So that vision and goals, and they're very goal oriented. Other people go from vision to mission, to action, to success. So and the goals, it's hard to separate them, but I'm more a mission-oriented person. That's what attracted me to Lifeway. It was this mission of spreading the good news, of helping people experience their joy again and their health. But look at this vision board, giving back, joy, a healthy body, plus the images. These are not poster boards or vision boards or dream boards that we created on New Year's Eve. I just Googled, I saw this, wanted to give you an image. This person is obviously mission-oriented with a goal. So let's see the next one. So that's the old-fashioned way of doing it, very tactile. You can do a dream board online. And I love that one, dreams don't work unless you do. So you can just see what this person chose. And over to the next slide, please. And once again, look at this, inspire, unstoppable, control the little voice in your head. I mean, this vision board inspires me. And the whole trick for me, let's go on to the next slide here. This is what I did 17 years ago. I didn't know it was popular. I just thought of it. Some people know about the Bagua map from Feng Shui. And it's, you just divide your poster board, your blank, into 9 squares. Excuse me, it's not necessary to do it this way. As long as you get those images on that poster board, you're on your way, you're setting your intention. But I did it this way. And so at the very bottom of this Bagua map is, where I am facing. Top left is wealth. Any pictures I took out of a magazine that related to wealth, I just put them in that corner. The fame, the relationships in the center, the health. I had baskets of fruit and life wave patches. And so I just put my images according to this. Gregory, you did a vision board once with 4 squares, didn't you? I didn't have that image to put up. Can you join me for a moment?
Yeah, I'd be happy to. Yeah, I did it. I did spiritual, mental, emotional, physical, what I was going to do in my spirit life and, my brain and thinking and emotions and relationships and physical manifestation. So that's the quadrants that I used for mine.
And many people don't do any kind of quadrants at all. They just have that poster board and the thing is, trust your intuition on this. Before you begin, just settle down, close your eyes, get really clear on your intention, your vision, that vision, envisioning how you're going to feel in the future. And then what do you need to do that? I think we've got somebody who's not on mute there, Gregory. Any chance you can just mute that person? Anyway, and then on to the next slide, please, and thank you. And there we are. The beauty of our dreams. So enough from me. Gregory, thank you for sharing what you did. And Karen Fish, are you there by phone on Zoom? Can you join us? If you will just need to unmute yourself.
Yeah, I'm here.
Hey, there you are, Karen. Well,
Good morning.
Thank you for joining. You, Lori, and I had a We Three chat on Tuesday, and we got excited about vision boards, etc. Could you share your very first experience creating a vision board? I think some people who've never heard about vision boards will love your story. And Gregory, we can leave the screen share up or not, whichever is easier for you. Over to you, Karen.
Okay. Yes, I was probably more like the woman that was a little resistant that came to your house that said she might be leaving, because when I first heard about it, I was in a direct sales company, and my recruiter wanted to do this. And I just thought, how ridiculous is this? What are we in kindergarten? I had no idea what it was. But I went along with it. And I like to look at magazines. So I thought, well, that'll be fun. So I cut out some things. And I realized, nothing happened immediately. Well, something started happening. But I realized several years later that everything I had on my board, even things that I thought were crazy, like a trip to Australia, jewelry, there were different things that all of a sudden I realized I had everything that I put on that board it had come to pass.
Yes, and you didn't even have a clear intention, and they came to pass.
No.
But you had a willing heart. Is there anything else you'd like to say about vision boards, dream boards?
Just that I'm very thankful that you brought it up, because it's something that after I realized that it worked, I wanted to do again. And I've bought poster board over the years and let it sit until I threw it away. So this is my wake up call to just do a new one. So
Wonderful. Are you going to do it with magazines or online, or are you not sure?
I like the magazines, and where I live, we get several magazines sent to us. So I've got lots to choose from.
Wonderful. Well, thank you for sharing how you felt when you started, because I'm sure some people, well, you never know, might be a little skeptical about this whole idea if it's the first time you've heard it. So thank you for sharing how you entered your very first vision board. Thanks so much, Karen. It's always a pleasure to see you and talk with you. And
You
then
too,
Lori,
Judy, thank you.
Thank you, Karen. Thank you. And Lori Young, are you there? Are you able to join us?
I am here.
Hey.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning,
I
Lori.
just wanted to thank you, Judy, personally for the call the other day, that you inspired me to, you and Karen both, to start getting my vision board. I went out and got my poster board and glue yesterday. I'm getting all my magazines and everything together to do a new one, because it's been so long since I've done one, and I do know the power of the vision board. I personally used it. I work with a assertive wellness center, Dr. Shauna Young, for 15 years, and about 13 years ago, I started a weight loss program there. And one of the things I would have my clients do is a vision board. And of course, some of them were very resistant, thought it was stupid, and others thought it was great. And I'm going to tell you, the ones who did it and brought it in and they posted it somewhere where they would see it all the time were successful. They dropped the pounds and they kept them off, and I had them renew their vision boards, and then also find pictures of themselves at a time where they thought they looked great. And if they couldn't find anything like that, then I'd have them find something in a magazine and put it together. And the main thing is to have these visuals where you're going to be seeing them consistently. Even you can even make a small little vision board, or just get a few little pictures, put them in your car, by your, tape it up somewhere. It's a visual thing. It's just getting that brain to connect and to do it. And I am doing mine personally by cutting out, because I find power in cutting out, writing down, and putting it together like that.
Thank you, Lori. The tactile experience is powerful, isn't it?
Very powerful. In fact, after we get off this call, I'm going to be getting my vision board together for this year.
Oh, how exciting, how exciting. Well, one of the reasons why images work so well, all the great artists, scientists, mathematicians, poets, novelists, all talk about the power of the subconscious. Poincaré, a French mathematician, described it beautifully. He said that the unconscious mind or the subconscious mind can create in a matter of minutes what the conscious mind cannot do in a lifetime. So it's this willingness to listen to the deepest core of our being. And that's where these vision boards come into being. So Lori, thank you for sharing, especially about your weight loss clients, and have fun with your vision board today. It's powerful. Key is to have fun while you're doing it. Helen Peak, are you there? Can you join us?
Here I am.
Hi, Helen.
Hey, well, I actually did something different last year, and I wasn't into cutting, things from the magazines and things. The idea that came to me was to use cards. So, for instance, Gregory and Robin sent us a card that "Live Younger" across the top. And one of my favorite gardens is the Bouchard Gardens over on Victoria. And, that was symbolic of Robin and Gregory, have many times talked about, we're building like a garden. You have to nourish everything. So I actually put little seeds on the, on the board as well. And then when I went to Alaska, we panned for gold. So I had little flecks of gold, and that stood for the prosperity that I was willing to allow into my life and to help others, have as well. I also have like a picture of the earth, and I have a little postcard that says "thank you" in several different languages. And then Timothy and I pulled an animal card, and the beaver was one. And the beaver teaches us how to build our dreams and include others as well. One mind, one thought, hearts as one, lessons learned from you. And the other was the prairie dog, which is, about communicating, as a whole community, which we all do well. I have a drawing of my daughter painted a beautiful garden scene when she was very little. And then butterfly was kind of another thing because it represents transformation. But for me, I kept it on my door to the office. And every time I walked in, it was about building the garden. And, it triggered senses. There was a postcard. I traveled the world teaching some personal growth stuff, and there was where the trilogy was written in South Africa. There was a card that was hand painted. So for me, that kind of brought out that, oh yeah, you're the person who taught on 5 continents, and you're the person who, knows how to love and be big. So it was representing to me to keep getting better and better, which is the theme of our team, our company, and for sure me. That's it.
Beautiful, Helen. Thank you so much. And I love how you always say yes to life. So thank you for saying yes so quickly when I invited you. And then coming back to what I said about Poincaré, where the unconscious mind can create in a matter of minutes. It's not as though they just let the unconscious mind do it. They did a lot of conscious work, and it's as though they put a lot of tools and words and whatever medium they were working on. It goes into the subconscious. And the conscious mind is doing lots of things. We create our goals, we invite people, etc. However, there's always the right time to relax. Just relax and let that deeper part come to the surface, because we know we have put beautiful things into that well from which our conscious mind can draw. So this is really about relaxing, focus, relax, focus, as we like to say about Robin. Speaking of which, Robin, would you like to give us a little hint of what's coming on the next wisdom call, and then we'll open it up for other people's stories about vision boards or questions.
Well, Judy, I want to thank you because you've inspired me. I started a vision board last New Year's. I cut out all kinds of things and it ended up in a pile and never completed. And I'm going to finish it.
Woohoo!
I mean, I'll probably have to redo a bunch, but, and you said so many amazing things that, you know, tapping into our unconscious. And to me, the greatest vision boards create a sense of feeling. And when we create from a feeling. And so this week is the vision board. And then next Friday, we're going to take this another step because we did a conscious completion of 2021. Now we're going to do a conscious intention of creating 2022. So we're going to have a special call with JJ and Robin together. We love working together and we don't do very much of it. And we co-created this and we're excited about taking what Judy's done, the next step of adding some additional tools about intention. So that's coming up a week from tomorrow.
Wonderful. Thank you, Robin. So let's open it up to our community. Who would like to share an experience of creating a vision board, results from a vision board, questions about a vision board, whatever you would like to talk about for our dreams coming true?
So
This is-
anyone,
Oh.
there you go. You can just unmute yourself and turn your camera on if you like. Janet, you're first with your hand up. Go ahead.
Thank you. No, the camera this morning would be way too scary. I really appreciate the 8 a.m. people. You guys have not enough time to get together. So thank you for this, Judy. Thank you for Robin and Gregory for doing this. I just want to give an example. I've used vision boards for 20 years in my consulting practices with senior executives. You just don't call them vision boards. And I try to teach them that the brain, we think we make decisions from our frontal lobe, from logic and reason, but it's been shown, and you guys know this, this is a very top level group, but that the limbic brain, center of the brain, makes decisions only from images and emotion, even though we go in with facts and figures. So my quick story is I had a software company that was very stuck. And I asked one of the senior team if he would just spend a little time with me. I had an idea. So we went one day and spread out all the pictures and the glue stick. And here's a guy who is basically a CPA, left brain. And I said, just trust me. And we collaged for 3 hours. And at the end, we got to the core of the problem of the business and how to get out of it. And he goes, God, I'm exhausted. Because when you're in your right brain, it exhausts you. And it ended up, that session turned into completely rebranding the company, launching a new product, and it increasing sales 150% month after month for 2 years. They're very powerful.
Janet, thank you for sharing that. Whew.
I would like to know how, Janet, how did you get to the core of the problem through doing the vision board?
It's all in asking questions. And I think like Judy's doing, and all of us who've been vision boards, Robin and Gregory, it's giving yourself time to get over to the right brain, because we don't spend our time creatively all day long. We're mostly on our left. So ripping out those pictures, I would say, hey, don't ask if you like the picture. Don't ask what it means. If you just respond, rip it out. And then pretty soon we had a whole table of pictures. So then I would use the big Post-it notes. And I would just say to this gentleman, I'll use this same story. What's going on with the customer? So we did a whole collage around the customer problems. And then I said, okay, great. Now our next one, what's the issue going on in the company? We did another one. And then I said, where do you think things need to go? And it was the third one, believe it or not, with this guy, tall guy, like he's like 6'5". He picked a ballerina. He didn't know. And that ballerina image catapulted the whole turnaround of the company.
Thank you.
Yes, and I do the same thing, Janet, without having been taught to do it. I just go through the magazines. If something interests me, I rip it out, put it in a pile. My left brain is on holidays. I don't think, oh, why did I like that? I love the ballerina story. Thank you. And thanks for your question, Sarah. Anyone else like to share?
I could share what happened to me with a vision board.
Okay.
So I was stuck in my first marriage. I'd been married for 25 years and that there was no hope at all. And then someone told me, why don't you do a vision board? So I did a vision board and I went overboard. I just chose images that seemed to me at the time totally impossible. And then, I don't know, the vision board got lost, and 3 or 4 years later, I was divorced and setting up my new house. And I looked at my house and I pulled out this vision board, and on the vision board was exactly the picture of my house. So I was flabbergasted.
Oh, I've heard so many stories like that, like Karen going to Australia. Thank you for that very, specific image.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Ravel, you've had your hand up for a while and I was muted, so go ahead.
Thanks, Sarah.
Thank you, Sarah.
Okay, really quickly, because I do have a call at 11:30. Thank
Okay.
you so much, Judy. And Robin, I can hardly wait until next week with JJ Joshua, because I think it's a combination of so much information. For example, one thing that Judy said in one of the vision boards was about work. And it reminds me of what Jim Rohn was saying about, if you're new, what you can make up with skill, you can make up with numbers. And that's just really resonating with me now. I just feel so happy about this community. I'm very, very happy today. Being able to share LifeWave and these amazing patches with people, it just makes me feel so happy. And I just want to quote JJ Joshua, if I may. Thank you so much, Robin, for sharing her with us. I choose the highest love to guide my thoughts, words, and deeds. So that goes in line with using one's subconscious to direct one's life at one act at a time. Thank you.
Could you repeat that once more? There was a little interruption. There was a little sidebar noise. Could you repeat that? That's such a wonderful quote.
Thanks, Gregory. Sure. JJ Joshua's quote, I choose the highest love to guide my thoughts, words, and deeds.
Lovely. Gregory, thank you for asking Ravel to repeat that for us.
Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you. And a big thank yous to Karen Fish for agreeing to say yes, to Lori Young for agreeing to say yes, and to Helen Peak for agreeing to say yes. And I think this is a year of yes. Yes to life, in spite of everything, because of everything. And for me, the starting point is always with what is right. What is wrong is beside the point. Emphasize what's beautiful and right and true in yourself. That will grow and everything else will fade away. So that's my offering to you for our visioning for 2022. Over to you, Gregory.
I think it was, well, we got the echo back. There might have been 1 or 2 other people. We have time. We're right at the bottom of the hour, but if there's 1 or 2 other people that really wanted to share, Sybil, you've got your hand up. Go ahead.
Oh, great, Gregory. Thanks. I wanted to honor our time slot, so thank you. Okay.
Hi, thank you. I'll put my hand down after because I get confused when I look for it. I just wanted to tell you, just a praise that I started the patches in April, and I have been recovering for 10 years from an auto accident and a lot of other traumas. So mentally, spiritually, and physically, I had so much and to go, and I'm just so much better. And I could barely walk part of this year, and I've been in a lot of constant pain for a long time. and I danced in the new year. And I want to thank you for doing this vision board talk, because I've longed to do this for the past couple of years with my team, and they just weren't interested at all. And it's just so fun to connect with people that have the same kind of vision and want to minister, want to find every way to be our best selves with personal development so that we can have more to offer. And I just want to thank you guys for like jump starting my life, and I'm so grateful. And I have done the vision board, and I have used that type of writing down your goals in wellness coaching, and it has just made a world of difference. And I'm so glad to have this opportunity to start out 2022 as a year of restoration, healing, and prosperity. And I'm so grateful. Thank you.
Well,
Thank you.
I just want to thank you, Judy, and I'll let everybody know. Robin won't let me show you, but our living room floor has now transformed into the new vision board workshop. She pulled out her vision board, her uncompleted vision board, and all the cutouts, and so from last year. So this was so wonderful, Judy. It's such an inspiration to me. I've had wonderful success with vision boards. You got to be careful what you ask for on your vision board, because it could happen. And I'll just tell one short thing, and then we'll all say goodbye. But I had on my vision board one time about 30 years ago, unlimited air travel. And you got to be careful what you ended up for. About 3 years later, people asked me my address. I'd give them my Delta frequent flyer number, because I was flying all over the United States into Europe and Asia. So I'm never going to put that on my vision board again. But, so wonderful things can happen with your vision board. So thank you so much, Judy. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And so if everyone wants to just unmute and say goodbye, hello, and thank you, this is a great time to do that.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you,
Judy.
We are the vision holders.
Yes,
Thank you.
Bye.
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 Bye. Thank you.
You're
Bye.
welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.